Welcome back to Everyday Stoic. Today we will be looking at 10 powerful lessons from the meditations of Marcus Aurelius. The first step: don't be anxious. Nature controls it all. And before long, you'll be no one, nowhere. Like Hadrian, like Augustus. The second step: concentrate on what you have to do. Fix your eyes on it. Remind yourself that your task is to be a good human being. Remind yourself what nature demands of people. Then do it, without hesitation, and speak the truth as you see it, but with kindness, with humility, without hypocrisy. Look at who they really are, the people whose approval you long for, and what their minds are really like. Then you won't blame the ones who make mistakes they can't help, and you won't feel the need for their approval. You will have seen the sources of both, their judgment and their actions. On the verge of dying and still weighed down, still turbulent, still convinced external things can harm you, still rude to other people, still not acknowledging the truth. That wisdom is justice. When you wake up in the morning, tell yourself, the people I deal with today will be meddling, ungrateful, arrogant, dishonest, jealous, and surly. They are like this because they can't tell good from evil. But I have seen the beauty of good and the ugliness of evil, and I have recognized that the wrongdoer has a nature related to my own, not of the same blood or birth, but the same mind, and possessing a share of the divine. And so none of them can hurt me. No one can implicate me in ugliness, nor can I feel angry at my relative or hate him. We were born to work together like feet, hands, and eyes, like the two rows of teeth, upper and lower. To obstruct each other is unnatural. To feel anger at someone, to turn your back on him, these are obstructions. When people injure you, ask yourself what good or harm they thought would come of it. If you understand that, you'll feel sympathy rather than outrage or anger. Your sense of good and evil may be the same as theirs, or near it, in which case you have to excuse them. Or your sense of good and evil may differ from theirs, in which case they are misguided and deserve your compassion. Is that so hard? The despicable phoniness of people who say, listen, I'm going to level with you here. What does that mean? It shouldn't even need to be said. It should be obvious. Written in block letters on your forehead, it should be audible in your voice, visible in your eyes. Like a lover who looks into your face and takes in the whole story at a glance. A straightforward, honest person should be like someone who stinks. When you are in the room with him, you know it. But false straightforwardness is like a knife in the back. False friendship is the worst. Avoid it at all costs. If you are honest and straightforward and mean well, it should show in your eyes, It should be unmistakable. Forget everything else. Keep hold of this alone and remember it. Each of us lives only now, this brief instant. The rest has been lived already, or is impossible to see. The span we live is small, small as the corner of the earth which we live it. Small as even the greatest renown, passed from mouth to mouth by short-lived stick figures, ignorant alike of themselves and those long dead. Someone despises me, that's their problem. Mine? Not to do or say anything despicable. Someone hates me, their problem. Mine? To be patient and cheerful with everyone, including them. Ready to show them their mistake, not spitefully or to show off my own self-control, but in an honest, upright way. Like Phocion, if he wasn't just pretending. That's what we should be like inside, and never let God's catches feeling anger or resentment. As long as you do what's proper to your nature and accept what the world's nature has in store. As long as you work for others, good, by any and all means. What is there that can harm you? The things you think about determine the quality of your mind. Your soul takes on the colour of your thoughts. Colour it with a run of thoughts like these. 1. Anywhere you lead your life, you can lead a good one. Lives are led at court, then good ones can be. 2. Things gravitate to what they were intended for. What things gravitate toward is their goal. A thing's goal is to benefit it. It's good. A rational being's good is unselfishness. What we were born for. That's nothing new. Remember, lower things for the sake of higher ones, and higher ones for one another. Things that have consciousness are higher than those that don't, and those with the logos still higher. Some people, when they do someone a favour, are always looking for a chance to call it in, and some aren't, but they are still aware of it, still regard it as a debt, but others don't even do that. They are like a vine that produces grapes without looking for anything in return, a horse at the end of a race, a dog when the hunt is over, a bee when its honey is stored, and a human being after helping others. They don't make a fuss about it, they just go on to something else. As a vine looks forward to bearing fruit again in season, we should be like that, acting almost unconsciously, yes, except conscious of it, because it's a characteristic of social beings that they see themselves as acting social and expect their neighbours to see it too. That's true, but you're misunderstanding me. You'll wind up like the people I mentioned before, misled by plausible reasoning. But if you make an effort to understand what I'm saying, then you won't need to worry about neglecting your social duty. Thank you for listening to Everyday Stoic. You can find us on social media at Everyday Stoic on Twitter and Instagram.